Days have seen the outgoing Obama administration make apparent inroads to key bilateral cooperation with Cuba after it scrapped the controversial wet foot, dry foot policy. But President-elect Donald Trump has already appointed a well-known supporter of the US economic embargo to his transition team. And there are plenty of people, especially in Miami, urging him to go in the opposite direction to the thaw that President Obama began with Cuba. So will Trump reverse Obama's Cuba legacy? Will Grant is in Havana for us.
It has been a tumultuous few weeks in Cuba. This annual military parade to mark the launch of the Cuban Revolution was supposed to be held in December. But following the death of its founding father, Fidel Castro, the event was moved to the new year. Still, in Castro's absence, the message from the top remains the same. The island will not divert from the political course charted by its communist leaders for decades.
The President of the United States.
Just under a year ago, President Barack Obama made history in Cuba. Since then, he described the thaw as irreversible. Some analysts agree that no matter what comes next, the point of no return between the old enemies has been reached.
I think we have gone past the reversibility. You might stop it, you might make it more slow. It is already slow, so it's difficult to make it more slow. But it's difficult. Break diplomatic relations with Cuba, put Cuba again in the terrorist list.
The Obama administration has reached final deals with Cuba on protecting their shared maritime resource and lifting the controversial wet-foot, dry-foot immigration rule. The policy guaranteed Cubans residency in the US without a visa. It will now be down to Mr. Trump to reinstate it if he so chooses. And the early signs are that Donald Trump will have a very different kind of relationship with Cuba. He's appointed a well-known supporter of the US economic embargo to his Treasury team. And in the hours after Fidel Castro's death, he described him as a brutal dictator, not something the Cuban government will forget in a hurry. Of course, there are plenty who want Mr. Trump to take a harder line with Cuba. Among them, a group of former diplomats who have called on the new president to roll back the rapprochement.
Obama did everything without referring to Congress, by executive order, by reinterpreting laws, and we think that was wrong, it was illegal, and so what we want to do is talk with the new administration on each of the items that he changed and tell them why we think it could be kept or why it may not be kept. One of the early highlights of the US thaw with Cuba was a visit by the Minnesota Orchestra to Havana in 2015. The musicians gave masterclasses and concerts to young Cubans. Some fear such collaborations could dry up under Mr. Trump. If so, the Cuban hardliners who didn't trust President Obama may get what many believe they want in Donald Trump: the return of the Goliath to their David. Will Grant, BBC News, Havana.